Hello and welcome to the Sparkling Autos YouTube channel. It's no surprise that as our cars get filthy, so do our wheels. But why do most of us spend so much time pre-washing our paintwork before contact washing it, yet attack our wheels with the strongest chemicals and go straight in with agitation? Well, recently I've been altering a lot of my methods, and one of the most significant changes I've made is to, well, most of the time at least, thoroughly pre-wash the wheels along with the rest of the car and then go in with gentler products, like wheel shampoos. Now these filthy AMG wheels are a perfect example of why pre-washing wheels is important, so stick around to find out why here on Sparkling Autos Quick Test Tuesdays. And this is the wheel shampoo I'll be using today, once the wheels have indeed been pre-washed. Autobrite directs, just wheels. So naturally comparisons will be drawn to a very similar product from another brand that I used in my most recent Quick Test Tuesday video, including the similar dilution ratios and similar instructions, and I will touch on that a little later on. But for now, we'll focus on this one and how it performs. But before that, let's get these wheels pre-washed along with the rest of the car. For that, I'm using Autobrite's Citrus Wash at 1:30, and no snow foam today either. I'm going in rogue. Plus, I was in a rush, and it was about to rain. Can't leave out the gratuitous flap cleaning shot. Then we move on to the wheel rinsing, and this is where you'll see precisely why this step is so important. Just look at the difference that's made already, without even touching the wheels. On to one of the even filthier front wheels now, and once again showing how even a simple pre-wash step can make such a difference. That is, or should I say was, a ground-in mixture of road muck, traffic film, and of course brake dust, and to simply take even the softest brushes and agitate a wheel cleaning product into those wheels without pre-washing them first would almost certainly leave some surface defects that would have to be polished out. But this way, spending a couple of minutes, most of which being the time to allow the product to dwell, could save yourself a massive headache on down the line. I'd say this is a much better place to start cleaning the wheels. So now, let's get back to the product we're testing. So the instructions say to use between 20 and 30ml per bucket depending on soil level. Well, I must be getting old because some days I can't be bothered measuring out, and I'll just squirt a decent glug in. Then top up a pressure washer to get plenty of suds in there. And get the brushes ready, which leads me nicely on to another couple of accessories I'll be testing today, the new Autobrite Direct wheel brushes. Although this wheel cleaning video was actually recorded at the tail end of August 23, these close-up images were recorded just last week and show the condition of the brushes after 6 or 7 months of use. And I'm still on the original tip 2, but there is a spur included with every brush should this one eventually fall off. So into the bucket with that one, and we'll take a closer look at the larger brush. And just like the small brush, the AD logo is well placed in line with the hole for hanging them up in your garage or shed. The same replaceable soft tips for protecting spokes, wheel barrels and brake calipers from scratches. And the same multitude of soft fibres wrapped around a strong flexible core, and which, as you can see, I've been testing its flexibility. And make no mistake, these aren't just cheap imitations. I found these brushes to be every bit as good as a particularly well-known set of blue bristled brushes. And finally, just to give you an idea of the size of the brushes, here are the two of them against a backdrop of 500ml bottles. Also in the bucket will be a soft 99 detailing brush for the wheel faces and a tire scrubbing brush. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So normally I'd start at the bottom rather than work my way down from the top, but this is another advantage of properly pre-washing the wheels, is that a lot of the worst dirt will have already been removed, making this way much safer to the wheels finish than it would ordinarily be. And for the record, no, that's not a Michael Jackson tribute glove I'm wearing, this is an example of just how creamy these suds are. As always, rinsing out the brushes before returning them to the bucket. This keeps the shampoo solution cleaner for longer for doing all four wheels. In with a smaller brush now, which is absolutely perfect for smaller spoke gaps, and for most cars at least, it's also ideal for squeezing between the brake calipers and the wheel barrels. Although in this particular car, the larger one actually had no problems with that particular task. One thing worth noting as I scrub the tyres is the actual volume of suds being produced here. Remember that nothing was sprayed onto the wheels beforehand, and what you see is purely what's been transferred to the wheels via the various brushes involved. And on top of that, there was enough slickness and lubrication that I didn't really feel the need for any of the steps in this wheel process to return the brushes to the bucket for more suds. And this brings me rather nicely onto a point I made earlier in the video. Naturally, some people will draw a comparison to the GUARDZ Therapy wheel shampoo used in my previous video, and if there's two products on my shelves that are worthy of a comparison, it's these two. But I have to say, as much as I love to just be brutally honest on this channel, I couldn't choose one over the other. Both are extremely well formulated for what they do, they're both very enjoyable to use, and they're both really cost effective. You could split hairs and find a difference of a few pennies cost per wash, but personally, pennies per wash don't make or break a product for me. So I'll sit on the fence and say this: if you love AD products, buy this one. If you love GT products, buy that one. Or if you don't necessarily associate yourself with one particular brand and you just like trying new things, buy either product and you won't be disappointed. So the last step here, and one that's so often overlooked, is to clean behind the spokes. You can use whatever you like for this job, but I find smaller wash pads, often sold specifically as wheel wash pads, are perfect. They can still hold a decent amount of solution, but they're not too cumbersome that you can't manoeuvre them in behind the spokes, and in the case of these beautiful AMG wheels, there's actually a lip on the rim to clean behind too. And just as with the brushes, it's really important to rinse the pad out as much as possible before returning it to the bucket. Now this isn't essential, but as I've said before, you'll be washing that fourth wheel with 3 wheels worth of brake dust if you don't do this. Then it's time to thoroughly rinse the wheel down and admire that stunning finish before answering that all important question. Another one that was never in any doubt, I've enjoyed using this product since its first use and I'll have no hesitation replacing it when it's empty. So it's definitely a winner. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I have to say about that. So as always, if you've made it this far, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you on the next one. Take care.